So lifestyle activities sell very well. I mean, but you have to make sure to capture your models in the moment, because if it's too posed, people are not going to buy it, because they want to see like authentic stuff. They want to find a skater person, and if this guy wasn't a skater, I mean, it would be obvious and they wouldn't buy it, I think. So yeah, try to catch them in the moment. I mean, if it's a carpenter, try to get them doing some carpentry, in their natural environment. So yeah. Next is drone photography footage. I mean, this is always a bestseller on our side. If it's a vertical, if it's a landscape orientation, doesn't really matter, as long as it's high octane. Maybe it's a slow motion, maybe it's a time lapse. Maybe you can get some shots, circling around some famous locations, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, vectors. I mean, I'm not too much into vectors, meaning I don't create them myself, but I know for sure that this kinds of banner templates, or icon packs sell really well, especially on Adobe. If you have a certain style, maybe it's a vintage style, maybe it's a post Soviet Union style or something like that. Maybe it's something related to certain topics that are happening in the world, or maybe it's a super futuristic, like hyper sci-fi futuristic kind of things. It's always good to see those, but please try to keep them like consistent. If you create an icon pack, for example, for related to Christmas, don't include pumpkins in it. Don't include anything related to Halloween or Easter. So yeah, keep it consistent, and upload in packs. Yeah, don't upload them separately. So okay, animals, wildlife. I mean, these are my favorite shots, to be honest, especially when you get a long lens, and you can get some really good shots with this. But birds aren't very passive creatures. They always fly around. You have to capture them. You have to have a good eye for birds to actually capture them in their moment. Doing something interesting, maybe making a mating call, that kind of thing. If you go to a really cool location that really like in Africa, for example, there are a lot of exotic birds, so you can get cool shots of exotic birds doing something really cool that not a lot of people see, maybe on Discovery Channel or something. So yeah, try to
Yeah.
get some exotic shots as well. Yeah. Anyway, seasonal photography and footage. I mean, this is always huge uh, a huge opportunity to get some sales. I mean, but you have to get your shots prior to the some holiday. For example, if you're doing some Halloween shots, try to upload them, in August, because it takes some time for the agency for the images and videos to get processed by us, and then get some traction on agencies. And also, those designers and social media marketing specialists, they like to get their stuff beforehand and get their designs ready for the actual events that they are planning. So always make sure to plan your shots beforehand and upload them beforehand. Like if you're planning to do some Christmas shots, I mean, you should be uploading them right now, or
Yeah.
maybe a month earlier. So yeah. Okay, yeah, illustrative editorial content. This is a huge market. There's a huge market for illustrative editorial content, especially if you're specialized in product shots. Always try to get them, get some good lighting, make sure your product is well exposed, and try to show the usability of those. If you're, for example, if you know a friend, or you yourself like using some kind of product, or maybe some sporting gear or outfit, it's always a good idea to get some good lights, get some good background, and yeah, try to get some cool shots. Maybe brand itself will buy it and use it in their own social media post. And next is vibrant and interesting backgrounds. I mean, when I say a background, I mean, I imagine, just a plain brick wall or something like that. It doesn't have to be always that. You can be thematic in your backgrounds. I mean, you can think of usage of it. So for example, this five string, I think this is a acoustic bass guitar. Anyway, so I'm really into guitars. Anyway, yeah, so you can think on the buyer side, maybe this person have a podcast related to music, or musical news, something like that. So you can always get this cool blurred shots, or maybe something that will be a cool background for a musical podcast, or maybe music related thing. It doesn't always have to be a plain gradient background or maybe a brick wall background. Yeah. And the next one is aesthetic interiors. Yeah, like you saw before, one of our best sellers is an interior shot. Actually, Matt, do you notice anything weird about this shot when you look at it? I mean, I don't know how well you can see it, but
Weird about it.
weird or maybe something different.
It looks like you've got a city view out of the window,
Mm.
something different. Looks like it was shot with a wide angle lens. Weird or something different. I'm missing it. I'm sorry.
I can't zoom
Yeah,
in.
no, it's fine. It's fine. I wouldn't be able to notice it either. No, none of us would be able to be honest, because it's actually not a shot at all. It's completely made in Blender. It's a 3D rendering. So
Ah,
these kinds of 3D renders always sell the best. I mean, I have no idea how they make this, how much free time they have. These guys are crazy. I mean, nothing here has a photo component. It's all fully digital, even the cityscape in the window.
ah.
So yeah, these kinds of perfect interiors. Maybe it shouldn't be I mean, if you're creating something else, for example, I don't know, a podium, maybe some 2D animation of a futuristic thing, or an astronaut walking on the moon or other planet. Yeah, those are always bestsellers on Wirestock. So and we always love to see it. But if you're making hyper realistic things like this, please always make sure to let us know in the additional information, because it's hard for us to notice these kind of things. If it looks hyper realistic, we might just write we might just describe it as a photo, and it won't sell as if it was a 3D render.
We'd require a property release for that too, since it looks so
Yeah,
real.
of
And so at that point, you would
course.
have to
Yeah,
just put
we
3D
would
render.
want a reference. Yeah, we would want a reference. We would want to see what kind of software was used. So yeah.